I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-minute convos where I help you create a brand of your own unique, real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good morning, David Savage. How are you going on this wonderful, beautiful morning?
Not too bad, thanks. I fear that the weather might be slightly better where you are than it is here, but good.
It's a great pleasure to connect with you, David. Please do tell us which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this time.
Well, I would assume it's the fact that I run a podcast series around technology, have done now for about 2.5 years.
Ooh, so tell us more about the podcast, please.
So it's basically an opportunity for technology leaders, predominantly in London, but wider than that sometimes, but predominantly in London, to share what's going on across the technology market here. It's a market which moves pretty quickly, so yeah, it's their chance to kind of talk about growth, how you execute new products, how you grow culture and learn from each other.
Intriguing. Who did you learn that skill from to be able to speak about that?
I've worked in technology now for 10 years, initially as a recruitment consultant and a salesperson. So I suppose there was a lot of kind of built up knowledge around technology itself on the back of that. And then from a podcast point of view, I jumped in and learned on the ropes.
How had the podcast affected you?
It's been great in developing relationships with people who I hadn't previously spoken to. It offers a lot of value to them because they're all going through shared experiences. So for me, it's enabled me to really kind of build that personal network of people in this marketplace and offer them help and advice where I can.
Sounds great. Ooh, you're a quick guy. You're answering these questions like Wow. All right, so you're doing that and you've been doing it for a while, tech being 10 years. Why will you continue to repeat the skills that are necessary to, just achieve the goal of what you're doing?
The market that I'm working in is changing all the time. If anyone knows anything about technology, it hits the papers now quite regularly with data breaches in terms of cyber security and hacking incidents, cyber warfare, automation, machine learning, artificial intelligence, data science. It's continually evolving with new technologies springing up every 18 months or so. So the people that I'm talking to are constantly facing new challenges, and the people that we speak to are equally often new to the market and learning as they go. So I don't think it's ever going to be something that is a completed project, because there'll always be something new on the horizon for that community to talk about.
Well, David, please tell us one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years.
In a work profession setting, kind of to do with the podcast or something else?
It could be something else.
I think if I kind of think about the work that I've done, it's I've constantly blogged and upskilled and tried to learn about the market that I'm working in, because it's new, as I said, and it's evolving. And I'm a politics graduate in terms of my background in university or college. So I'm starting from a point of not being a technologist and being a bit of an outsider. So I've had to constantly read and to write and to try and immerse myself in that community to have the ability to be able to speak with them.
How does that make you feel?
Oh, it's great. I love it. It's an interesting marketplace, and there's so much to learn, and it's always fun to be sitting down with someone and speaking on a level with them.
Why would you suggest that someone who's listening, who may be stepping into a new market, right? Not necessarily tech, but just a new market. Why would you suggest to them to do what you've done by not coming in there and staying at a fear factor level, but really, just tackling it hard and bringing up yourself to where it's necessary to.
Well, there's a lot of motivational quotes around and online and on LinkedIn, and I think a lot of them are dross. to be perfectly honest. But one that always kind of resonated with me, Richard Branson, who founded Virgin, said that if someone offers you an opportunity, it goes something along the lines of, if someone offers you a job or an opportunity to do something that you haven't done before, say yes and learn how to do it. And I think that's probably fair. You know, if someone gives you an opportunity and you say to yourself, I don't really know how to do this, don't worry about that. Say yes, learn how to do it as you go.
Love that. Well, amazing audience, we are live with David Savage. David, where's the best place for us to connect with you?
The best thing probably is to go to the website for the podcast if they ever wanted to listen to that, which is www.tech-talks.co.uk. On there's a link to my Twitter, which is at tech_talks, or my personal one is at DaveSavage_1984. Mainly Twitter and the website are the best places.
David, let's switch gears for a moment now and let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. David, what is your earliest childhood memory?
I was thinking about this, and it's difficult to recall exactly what's first, but I used to holiday a lot with my mum and dad in South France, in Provence, and there was a particular campsite called Les Jonquiers, and I've got some memories, and I'm not entirely sure which is earliest, but I remember being very young and going on a walk with some family friends in the evening and spotting an owl and kind of being quite kind of amazed by the nature of the place and around us. So that's something that's kind of stuck with me, those experiences. I also remember eating langoustine or king prawns for the first time in a kind of Provençal setting and kind of pulling them to pieces. So probably one of those kind of early holiday memories.
Intriguing. How old do you think you were?
Probably 3 or 4 maybe.
Wow. So why do you think this memory is so clear? The memory with the owl specifically.
I think it's probably a mixture of, it wasn't just a place, but it was sounds and smells and setting and in somewhere entirely different to usual kind of life on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah. Well, can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind?
Yeah.
I love the idea with the owl and the senses that can seem as though they are numbed in a particular environment. Connecting it to what you expressed in terms of entering into the tech world and being a newbie and, just having all of the technical skills multiplied by the years that another individual would have had, but coming in there and still being able to do what you do. If you look at it as in the night, if you would, like, I may not have the experience of the 10 years that you had in the day, but when it comes to the night, boy, oh boy, can I fly.
No, I can understand where you're coming from with that, and I think any time that you're thrown into something new and bewildering, it kind of overloads your senses, but if you kind of embrace it, it can be a great experience.
Yeah, and it's a model, right? It's a posture as well, right? Where the owl is there and he looks quiet, but everything is being taken in. It's pretty fascinating how it connects. If we fast forward it to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
Oh, no, this is probably quite embarrassing. Being British, I was ripe for the Spice Girls when I was in kind of year 7 and 8. I don't know what it relates to in North America in terms of the actual year, but when I was 11 and 12 years old, the Spice Girls were pretty big, so it's probably some Spice Girls song, which is not very cool. At the same time, I did discover the Beach Boys around about that age, and Pet Sounds and Sloop John B probably still my favorite album and favorite song, so that hopefully kind of rebuilds a bit of credibility.
Yeah. What was the song with Pets? What was the name of that? What was the artist? Sorry?
The Beach Boys.
And what was the name of the song?
The song would have been Sloop John B, but off the album. Hang on, give me 2 seconds. Off the album, Pet Sounds.
Pet Sounds, okay. Yeah, I just love the idea of how that connects. Pet Songs, right? Even the owl, right? Yeah.
Very, very famous album. Very famous album.
Well, I love to connect dots to songs and things that you do in your life, right? But it's just that, you spoke of the owl and there's Pet Songs coming up, just saying. All right, David. Well, we've arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form. So it's yes or no, possibly a bit more. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready, David?
Yeah.
David, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
No, I haven't yet. No.
Are you married?
I am, yes.
Do you have children?
No.
Do you believe in God?
That's more complicated than a yes or a no.
All right.
My dad is in the church. Both of my granddads were in the church. It's something I've grown up around. I believe in something more. Exactly what, I haven't quite worked out. And I kind of figure that if there is a God, that they kind of want you to be in a situation where you're still trying to figure it out and questioning.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes, yeah, I've got some close friends that I've had for a long time.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No.
How about 3 hours a week?
Yes.
What about screen time, the phone and or the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Working in a content role, in an office setting, even though I get out and about quite a bit, I certainly spend more than 8 hours in front of a screen.
David, if you had to share with us a statement that represents who you are, your own unique real statement, what would you say that is?
You know, I don't really have one, but I was thinking about this, and I'm reasonably silly and like British humour. And there's a line in Monty Python and Monty Python's Life of Brian, rather, that said, "Blessed is the cheesemakers," which is fairly silly, and is followed up with a line. Obviously, so it goes, "Blessed are the cheesemakers. What's so special about the cheesemakers?" Well, obviously, it's not meant to be taken literally. It refers to any manufacturers of dairy products, which I always think is quite a good way of looking at religion.
Wow. Last night my wife was looking at a book that we read a couple of years ago. Technically, it's out of sync in terms of the alignment of what you were speaking about, but the name of the book is Who Moved My Cheese?
Right. Well, I think cheese is very important in life, generally speaking, but Monty Python have a good way of adding silliness and humour to quite big subjects.
Yeah. Well, David, my friend, this has been a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
No, I just think that this project that you've embarked on sounds like something really worthwhile and quite exciting. So I hope the rest of that goes really well, and I hope that your listeners are enjoying probably the very varied and many chats that you're having.
David, it's been a great pleasure. Thanks for making this project possible by being here. David Sanchez, thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thanks. Bye now.
Thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com, and for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.